Merry Christmas and happy holidays to you, our dear viewer. Thank you for making us a part of this lovely Christmas, the 25th day of December 2022. My name is Sandrah Kahunde. It is a day of sharing and it's a family day, and it's a pleasure to be part of your day, you being a great family throughout the entire year. And each and every single Sunday, we'll bring you the weekly news roundup, where we'll take you through some of our top stories and, of course, activities that did transpire throughout the entire week that you could have missed out. And right on, we get straight into our activities, starting off with the head of state. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni this week assured the country of a safety against the rebels who are attempting to destabilize the country. In his recent address to the nation, President Museveni accounted for the 40 fighters who attacked civilians, that is in Ntoroko. He said UPDF is a strong force and will wipe out all the intruders who want to compromise the country's peace.
Uganda security forces have in the recent operation killed 2 ADF rebels in Chitomatuga in an ongoing operation to hunt for criminals who are attacking police stations. 2 SMGs and explosives were recovered from the crime scene.
Initial police forensic analysis has confirmed that one of the recovered guns is the very one the criminals robbed when they attacked Usika police station, while the second one was robbed from a private security guard at Rugoma Kawempe police station in September 2022.
Fingerprinting all guns in the country and evidence collected from crime scenes has made follow-up on crime much easier.
As I speak, and you remember I told you that the other time when we were having the end of the year, I told you anybody who kills people will be arrested or killed if he tries to resist.
The head of state emphasizes that full-scale operations have managed to help security crack down criminals operating under the Uganda Coalition Forces for Change.
Under one Ndugwa Frank Semogere, who initially escaped arrest but was later arrested from Kenya and brought back for trial by the General Court Martial. All the 5 robbed AK-47 SMGs were recovered. The 22 suspects, including the overall commander, one Semogere Ndugwa, have been charged before the General Court Martial.
In an attack against the population in Ntoroko district, where 40 rebels attempted to infiltrate security operations, at least 21 have been killed, 15 captured alive, 17 SMGs and 2 machine guns, 4 improvised explosive devices, 412 bullets, 15 handset phones and 5 radio walkie-talkies were recovered.
On our side, 1 soldier was killed, 1 soldier was wounded, 1 civilian was killed, 2 civilians were injured. So therefore, out of the 40 who crossed into Uganda, 36 are either dead or captured.
The president calls for vigilance from members of the public to wipe out wrong elements in the country. Ivan Kahwa.
Now, more from state. President Museveni this week engaged media editors from different media houses across the country who called on him at State House Nakasero. In a question and answer interactive session, this interactive session focused on a wide range of issues involving security, the economy, land matters, among others.
President Museveni has today engaged media editors and talk show hosts across the country on a wide range of issues. The first set of questions focused on issues to do with land wrangles and security. On land, Museveni highlighted that the government he heads has laid out strategies aimed at correcting what he called a colonial problem.
Because they don't listen to our strategy, which was a win-win. Asigale ku kibanja kye naye owettaka naye tufune engeri gye tumuyambamu okukola ebirala eventually, so that he leaves Obwanaini to the Chibanja people. So that is the cover you hear.
When asked about abductions and alleged torture as reported by the media, Museveni tasked the journalist to adduce evidence, maintaining that he doesn't condone these acts.
We are against extrajudicial killings. And we are against all these arrests without charges. And we organized you, the people. You are all organized from the village, LOC1. These are all elected people. So if there is anything who violates, anybody who is arrested must be coming from a village, must be coming from somewhere. And those structures should bring it up, and we follow it up.
The president also called on the media to promote government developmental programs like the Parish Development Model and Emioga.
But I think our own radio, UBC, should set its own example. Leka bano abatafa ku bantu baffe bagumaza ndowooza Muganda kitwa ugumaza to divert people. Let our own UBC bring programs to educate the people so that abagala kugumaza babereyo bagumaza. Like we have got our own radios like Buked and so on. They can advise, guide, and people in time will judge the one who is their friend and who is just using them.
When asked about the economy's outlook, Museveni revealed that Uganda's GDP figures paint a picture of a country on an upward trajectory.
If you wanted to prove that Uganda is strong, this corona proves it. Because with corona, tourism stopped completely. But in spite of tourism stopping and other disruption, hotels, the hospitality industry stopped, but still the economy grew.
The president also promised to look into the reported cases of vandalism, most especially on critical electricity transmission infrastructure. Museveni assured the editors and the country at large of continued peace and stability ahead of the festivities.
More presidential activities coming your way. President Museveni will spend his Christmas holiday at his country home in Rwachitura, Kiruhura district. Today, the president is spending most of the time at his farm in Rwachitura. On the other hand, General Museveni, together with his family, will also attend the Christmas prayers from Rwachitura. During his media engagement at a state house in Nakasero, the president wished all Ugandans a Merry Christmas and, of course, a Happy New Year 2023.
Her Excellency is laying the wreath. Thereafter, we will receive her address. The first wreath has been laid. She is now laying the second wreath.
Condolence message. I was saddened to learn of the fatal accident which resulted into the untimely death of Honorable Patrick Okabe and his wife, Mrs. Christine Okabe. On behalf of the NRM party, on behalf of government, and on behalf of all Ugandans, I convey heartfelt sympathies and condolences to the bereaved family, Serere County, the Parliament of Uganda, Impact Ministry Church, and the entire country. Okabe understood the true role of leadership, especially at the national level. and we are proud of his achievements and transforming the livelihoods of the people of Serere County. He ably represented and championed the legitimate interests of the people of Serere County and Uganda at large. Honorable Patrick Okabe and his wife will also be remembered for offering spiritual guidance to the Faithful Impact Ministry Church in Mbale. Their wisdom, compassion, and charity towards the orphans, the sick, etc., will be dearly missed. Today, we are not only mourning the death of Honorable Patrick Okabe and Mrs. Christine Okabe, but we are also celebrating their great legacies, which must be carried on by their children and the many lives that they touched. May the souls of Honorable Patrick Okabe and Mrs. Christine Okabe rest in eternal peace. Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda. And he sent me with 10 million Uganda shillings to offer to the family towards the burial arrangements. Thank you for your kind attention.
Piga risasi tatu kwa amri zangu kamanda. Risasi ya kwanza piga.
So let's bring our minds together. Let's again. For as much as it has pleased Almighty God, who gives life and never
we lay soil dust to dust, ashes to ashes, in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Thank you. Thank you, Lord.
May their souls rest in eternal peace. That particular update had to do with the Serere Committee members wanting government to extend support towards running of the projects that were established by the late Patrick Okabe, the Serere County Member of Parliament. And of course, the locals expressed their request at the ongoing burial ceremony of the fallen legislator for Serere County, Patrick Okabe in Serere District. The locals also urged government to intervene and curb the rampant accidents on Ugandan roads that have claimed many lives. And of course, still on the sad note, and as far as activities during the week, we also lost the former head of public service and secretary to cabinet, John Mitala. May their souls rest in eternal peace. Now, moving on into other activities for the day, police this week confirmed that the search for 7 suspected ADF rebels who had sneaked into the country from DRC is still on. According to the police spokesperson Fred Enanga, among the 7 are the 2 rebels who were killed recently in Kito, Matuga, Wakiso district.
Was served this country for over 50 years.
The former head of public service and secretary to cabinet, John Mitala, is dead. The permanent secretary, officer of the president, Sandrah Kahunde, confirmed the death that occurred in Masaka Friday evening.
Immediately he collapsed and died. He collapsed in Masaka at his home. Then they took him to Masaka Hospital. That was around 2:30.
Kahunde says the late head of civil service, John Mitala, has been battling some illnesses for some time.
The first time I saw him getting sick was last year when he got COVID. That's the first time. I've been working with him, I have told you, for over 20 years. But the first time he got sick was last time when he got COVID. And then the next one was this one in October when he collapsed and they took him to hospital.
Sandrah Kahunde has been one of his closest friends.
I was a mid-office. I was, I think, a principal assistant secretary. And Later on, I became Under Secretary under him still. And later on, I became a permanent secretary, still under him. Again, he was brought back to me here as a senior presidential advisor. And I met him in 1990.
Dr. John Mitala was one of the longest serving head of public service and secretary to cabinet in Uganda's history.
He has been giving, not only as the head of public service, but to the political leadership in this country. So I think we have lost a genius man who has died, I think, at the age of 74.
The late Mitala will be laid to rest on Tuesday, 27th December 2022 at his home in Kalungu, Masaka district. It is alleged that Monday night of 19th December 2022, security operatives gunned down 2 ADF suspected rebels in Matuga, Wakiso district.
Abakuuma eddembe bazze nga balina omukyala gwe banoonya dini ne ffe ng'abakakiiko ne tubalagirira then we are just entered when we heard voices outside there, and later on we heard gunshots.
According to eyewitnesses, who some happens to be local leaders, this is how it all started. We are told it is after when the suspected rebels put up some resistance that security operatives engaged them with force.
So on hearing gunshots, they were exchanging gunshots, and we had the policeman talking. I think the first shot, and he had not died. He was trying to pull the gun, but they gunned him down.
The deadly operation conducted in Kitose in Matuga was under the watch of local leaders.
So for us, we didn't know, but the intelligence knows they were holding some guns.
Early this Monday, the area was sealed off for hours by security experts as they examined the scene of crime.
So at that exchange, 2 people were killed, and even 2 guns were recovered. Even the bomb was inside there.
Some of these residents recall how they have associated with the suspects.
I don't know more about him, but he has been simple, appearing simple, like you cannot identify him as the person who can do such things of bombing, having a gun, because he was just quiet, ever smiling, ever happy. You can't know the inner part.
The development has left residents in total fear.
I'm scared. I just pray I don't suffer from depression of that attack. Because I was with the kids, they were all shouting, "What is that?" I had to make them lie down.
According to security operatives and local leaders, 2 guns, bombs and magazines were recovered during the operation.
They discovered 2 guns inside there, and maybe I witnessed 2 bombs. But maybe there was another element of bomb inside there, because if it comes to bomb, they told us to leave the place. That's why.
During their weekly news conference at Naguru Police Headquarters, police spokesperson Fred Nanga gave the details of the incident.
Our flying squad teams and crime intelligence have been actively hunting down a group of about 7 ADF remnants who slowly filtered back into the country from the eastern DRC with weapons, and they managed to round them up in Matuga, and during the raid there was a fierce exchange of gunfire that took place, which led to the killing or putting out of action of 2 ADF terrorists. We recovered 2 guns and explosives in one of the bags that was managed by the counter-terrorism team. This is the multiple intelligence that we had surrounding this group is that they were behind the deadly attack on Usika police station, where 3 police officers were killed and 2 guns robbed and part of the officers burnt. It is also the group that carried out an attack on 2 civilians in Kasule, Yangua village, Chabadaza, where they killed them and also injured a 3rd, and thereafter attacked police officers at Chabadaza police station, where they rescued 2 colleagues.
The bodies of the 2 suspected ADF rebels were later evacuated by security. Robert Onyango, UBC News.
In more news, this Christmas, the festive season often comes with a lot of excitement for most people. Now, in this time, they travel up country to meet their family members in tribute of the birth of Jesus Christ and the New Year, respectively. However, following the presidential directive to issue the COVID-19 certificates, one wonders if the public is complying.
The year 2022 has been a year of relief compared to the past 2 years, 2020, 2021, where the country went into total lockdown due to COVID-19 pandemic outbreak. However, this year's festive season that spans over Christmas and New Year's celebrations is likely to be a mixed grill of sorts, with COVID-19 still on rampage, and yet the public seems ready to celebrate it like never before.
Developed nations thought that will not escape the pandemic, but the God of Israel helped us. And if there is a different Christmas, if there is a different crossing of the year, this is one of its own.
Everybody wants to go back to their village where they have not been for a whole year. But you see, you can delay some of these things. We were under restricted movement, the whole country, the whole world, and the world is still here. So there are certain inconveniences we incur on ourselves, inconveniences we accept for the sake of knowing we want to make sure we are safe.
Whereas Ebola is off the ladder after the lifting of the curfew and all travel restrictions in Kasanda, Mubende and other districts, people should not celebrate yet, since the country is not declared Ebola-free by World Health Organization.
We count 2 incubation cycles. The first cycle is if there is no contact of that person, so within 21 days, and then the next 21 days is to come and see if there is no any community transmission going on as you follow up generally in the whole communication. That gives the scientific rationale why we say 21 days, why we say 42 days. We had almost started counting down the 42 days until the clock was reset.
With COVID-19 cases now at 70 patients per week, President Yoweri Museveni recently announced new measures aimed at ensuring the country does not slip into yet another wave.
COVID is now on the rise, and we are seeing new restrictions being kicked in. Professor Omaswa says health is made at home and only repaired in the health facility. It is every person's responsibility to keep healthy. So the spirit in which the SOPs are being given is 1, let everybody get the vaccination. We've been vaccinating Ugandans since March last year.
Being vaccinated against virus-related diseases is one of the measures that can stop COVID-19. The National Vaccination Incident Commander, Dr. Daniel Chabayinza, says the country has received over 48 million doses of vaccines aimed at curbing the spread.
So this is a reminder. You cannot associate with those who are responsible for their lives when you are trying not to be responsible yourself, because it's actually irresponsibility. The vaccines are available. They have been put in every health facility. We had massive campaigns, and you have not taken the vaccination, and you want to congregate with those who have taken their lives seriously?
Apostle Michael Chimuli of Christian Discipleship Ministries International, Kololo, in Kampala, urges religious leaders to encourage their congregation to get vaccinated.
I encourage the people that I lead to vaccinate. I told them I have vaccinated. Please, all of you, do vaccinate. And I also try to get a doctor who can tell them about the vaccination and the importance of it.
He also commented on the presidential directive aimed at controlling the spread of COVID-19 and Ebola virus disease.
I have my certificate, I did it, and even the booster, because of course I travel a lot and I really care about my life. When it came to COVID-19, I saw my friends losing their lives of COVID, so I care. But I don't think, because it was optional, so many people they took it light.
I think the greatest things we should start even with the movement of the people. If the people are moving without a test, it will be difficult for us as a leader to say, don't go out, because don't come to church, because a church is a public service for everyone. So when you say that no gathering, that means no movement. First, I think it will start at home.
At the Namayuba bus terminal, operators and travelers have varying ideas about the travel directive.
I think if we started asking for vaccination cards, I guess nobody would travel.
In Namayuba, we would try to implement that, and we also managed to put a COVID-19 vaccination center there. In case you're not vaccinated or you have one dose, we have different hospitals there which are doing that free of charge.
In a class, you can be 60 students. There will still be that 10 students who, despite the fact that teacher gives extra work, will still get less than the average mark. You know how many people crowded in the hospitals? We saw how people were being given oxygen in their cars. At that time, we didn't have a vaccine.
Organizers of public gatherings like the music industry, transport sector, and the Passover prayers should ensure people observe Ministry of Health guidelines. Accordingly, COVID-19 cases stand at 0.5%, that is 70 cases per week, a situation that has prompted government to urge the public to embrace vaccination. Currently, 110% health workers are fully vaccinated. People above 50 years at 44%, while most teachers have not received the second dose. Whether there will be enough manpower to ensure the President's directives, mainly of being in possession of vaccination certificates to access churches, markets, and other public gatherings, is the daunting challenge. Mutonyi Hilda, UBC.
Thank you so much, Motonyi Hilda, for that insightful report. And of course, calling upon the public, the general public, as they celebrate Christmas, to be vigilant and remember to take good care of themselves. Now, in other news, Uganda Prison Commission is implementing the directives from President Yoweri Museveni to open up new prison farms in northern Uganda to boost food security in prisons after acquiring 30,000 hectares of land. At Aswa and Padal district, the commissioner prisons in Gulu Amos Turiashaba says the land is to produce food for prisons.
Through the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fishery has given 50,000 hectares of land from the institutions to the Uganda Prison Commissioners for mechanizations of agricultural farms.
Here where we are at Aswa, they gave us 30,000 acres, and right now we are on land opening, whereby we are bulldozing. We have other areas where we're also doing this intervention, like Aribdong district, whereby we have 1,700 acres at Away, which are being opened. There we're using our own machinery as prisons. And then we have Aloy Ongom, where we already have 300 acres of maize planted. And then we have also Soroti, Odina, 900 acres, which we are opening using our manpower. And we have Labor also Soroti, 700 acres, which are opening.
UPDF, National Enterprise Corporations and large-scale farmers in northern Uganda, Uganda Prisons, is expected to execute the presidential directive of boosting food security in the country.
This being a national food security intervention, we are producing food for the country. This one is not for feeding our prisoners. This is for feeding Ugandans who have a shortage of food, mainly in Karamoja and then some parts of eastern Uganda.
The regional prison commander, Margaret Orek Obonyo, says they are to start using the land immediately.
And bush clearing here started on the 10th of October 2022. And it is progressing on well. Apparently, we have covered acreage of 1,000 acres, which is being prepared so that by the beginning of first season 2023, we are able to plant our crops as per our target.
Margaret Orek Obonyo also attributed our access to the road in Achua prison farm remains a challenge, as both the locals and the prison staff swim in the mud to access the site. Stephen Okelo, reporting for UBC TV in Pade District.
You're still watching the weekly news roundup that comes your way every single Sunday afternoon. My name is Sandra. And of course, taking a short break. When I return, more news updates for you, and Merry Christmas.
Set to transport to the wrong person. Here's how to reverse it with MTN Mobile Money. Dial *165#. Select My Account. Select Initiate Reversal. You will see your last 3 transactions. Select the transaction you want to reverse. Enter your mobile money PIN and you'll get an SMS confirmation that the transaction has been blocked from being withdrawn. And that's it. Please note, only transactions that haven't been withdrawn can be reversed.
Oh, Susan, I want to propose to Rose. Yes, and this time I am serious.
Have you guys had sex?
Duh, of course.
And have you had sex without using condoms?
Hey, Nga, you're curious.
I'm more concerned. Are you having sex with other people?
Hey, hello, is this an interview or what?
No, just things you should think about. Do you know Rose's HIV status?
Okay, this is serious. Should I be worried?
It is actually serious. Do you know your HIV status?
I think I am safe. Many times we get into situations that put us at risk of HIV. However, the first step to ending HIV is getting tested and knowing your results.
It's Time Up HIV. Call 0800-211-046 or text 8080 toll-free for more information about how to prevent HIV.
This message is brought to you by Ministry of Health with support from USAID.
The festive season is here and it's Christmas in 4G from Airtel. Get the most affordable 4G smartphone in Uganda, now heavily discounted from 250,000 shillings to 150,000 shillings only. Yes! 150,000 shillings only to keep you connected to your loved ones this holiday season.
Dial *175*94# to activate free 1 GB instantly and 100% double data on all weekly and monthly bundles for 3 months. Get one today while stock lasts from the nearest Airtel shop. Happy holidays this festive season with Airtel, the smartphone network.
In chess, the small one can become the big one. It's the same here. And here too. Watch every move. Record every number so you can plan better. No matter the size of your dream, tomorrow's success belongs to those who keep today's records clean. File your returns today.
Uganda Revenue Authority, developing Uganda together. Paying for groceries the old way.
3, 4, yeah, 5. I don't even know what he's doing. 7, 8, 9.
Allow me.
Paying for groceries with the My Airtel app. You have the power in your pocket. The power to conveniently pay for goods and services. Unlock that power with the My Airtel app. Visit the App Store or Google Play now.
That's my wife. Yeah, let me just take this point. Yeah.
Get value for your money by choosing the right paint. With Global Paints, you don't just paint, but paint for generations to come. Make Global Paints a paint of choice and make your building a paradise. We have weather coat emulsion, undercoat emulsion, silk vinyl emulsion, flat emulsion, super gloss and high gloss. Global Paint, a reliable product.
Welcome back. Good to know you're still a part of the national broadcaster, and it is Christmas. Now, in updates from the business world, the Directorate of Industrial Training at the Ministry of Education and Sports is conducting the Occupational Best Assessment Level 1 to 3 module and industrial assessment countrywide. Over 14,000 candidates from 434 assessment centers are to be assessed. The Directorate of Industrial Training, Dr. Byakatonda Patrick, says this is part of Skilling Uganda, which is aimed at providing skills to every Ugandan.
Uganda's education system is targeting to produce graduates with skills that are competitive on the labor market. Over 200 youths from the Kayunga Presidential Hub in Kayunga District are undergoing occupational based assessment level 1 by the Directorate of Industrial Training in the occupations of carpentry, tailoring, hairdressing and welding. The Directorate of Industrial Training, Dr. Patrick Byakatonda, says this approach is in response to the world of work.
We assess people in the formal sector, we assess people in informal sector, we assess people in the industries, we assess people who have trained themselves. The 2,525 are in the industrial hubs, the different industrial hubs established in the country. For instance, in Kayunga, we have assessed 214 candidates.
The State House supported project is aimed at transforming Ugandans from peasantry to socio-economic transformation growth.
When you have a skill of level 2, certificate level 2, when we assessed you as a carpenter, as a welder, as a tailor, as a hairdresser, and you have certificate level 2, it is equivalent to A level. That's why the Asian Tigers passed us, because they assess on someone what they are able to do. Not because you sat so many hours in class, no. But can you produce something? Can you make a shirt? Can you make me, a necktie? Can you make a jacket? So that's what we are trying to do to change this nation.
As one of the ways of fighting poverty, unemployment, and improve on the household incomes among Ugandans, it is intended at equipping disadvantaged youth who have not had an opportunity to attend formal education or benefit from it with skills such as carpentry, welding, hairdressing, tailoring, such that they can be useful and join the money economy.
Such skills acquired by the youth will help transform themselves and communities.
You can beat men, you can stand out there, you can do it. You just have to believe in yourself. Like I have gained a lot because of believing in myself. Nothing's there anymore that it is for men alone. So a woman can do absolutely anything.
Over 75,000 candidates have been assessed by the Directorate of Industrial Training from July up to date.
More from business. Tanzania's Central Corridor has set an agenda of growing cargo traffic and trade with Uganda. So far, 2022 has been an active and resourceful year for the Central Corridor.
In the middle of 2022, the Central Corridor Transit Trade Facilitation Agency witnessed a change of guard from Captain Dieudonné Dukundane of Burundi, who handed over the mantle of leadership of the 5-member country organization to Advocate Floria Okonjo-Okonge from the Democratic Republic of Congo.
I would wish everyone to give him full support. I would once again wish to call all development partners to continue supporting Central Corridor under his leadership.
Okanju visited all member countries, among them Uganda, and assured stakeholders of more support, improved services and infrastructural development in his tenure. Top on his agenda, and he made it categorically clear in various engagements with top government officials and business community from Uganda, is attracting more cargo traffic on the Central Corridor's cost-friendly and safe multimodal transport system.
So this is the big opportunity for us, Honorable Minister, to renew our commitment to you as our boss, that we will serve the Central Corridor agenda.
Okay.
And for us, there is no difference to make. So we need Uganda cargo.
If we can have alternate and even complementary routes, I think it will help in movement of cargo. And it also gives the traders a choice. You want to come through the Central Corridor, so be it. If you want to come through the Northern Corridor, so be it. So promoting the Central Corridor was long overdue in terms of ensuring that we have smooth flow of cargo.
To boost the business relationship with Uganda, CCTTFA supported Uganda Railways Corporation with funds to rehabilitate 20 flatbed wagons. After the milestone event in Kampala, Fred Byamukama, the State Minister for Works and Transport, led a delegation of government officials and other key stakeholders to Tanzania for a familiarization tour. The Standard Gauge Railway project, the Port of Dar es Salaam and the Lake Victoria Port of Mwanza were on the travel itinerary.
We need to move on, and we have come. These people, they see what you're doing in SGR, what you are doing via the water transport, what you are doing in URC.
In Uganda, we are doing very well, but it's not enough. I think we've got around 100 and something thousand tons. I guess so. Yeah, 240. It's not enough. It's not enough. We can do better.
To crown an otherwise successful year, the Central Corridor graduated its first batch of 10 students who completed their training as Officers of Navigation Watch and Engineering Watch Class 3 on November 28, 2022 in Dar es Salaam. According to the Secretariat and Board of Directors, the organization is committed to keep implementing the Central Corridor agenda in order to make it more competitive and sustainable trade route of choice. Dennis Igoa for UBC News.
Before we let you go, more business coming away. The Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development has committed 150 million euros to rehabilitate 2 dams of Nalubale and Kira for effective operations. This resolution was announced by the Minister for Energy and Mineral Development, Ruth Nankabira, during the 12th annual general meeting of the Uganda Electricity Generation Company Limited.
April 2023, government through Uganda Electricity Generation Company Limited will take over the operations of 2 major dams of Nalubale and Chira from contractors after expiry of agreements.
Contracts for most of the staff in UEGCL is going to end in June, by June 2023. So in the case that that date comes, when we have not completed the merger, we are on standby, and we have authorized them to make sure that we don't leave a vacuum.
Government has committed to invest at least 150 million euros to rehabilitate these dams after the takeover for efficiency and effectiveness.
We have placed a request to make sure that Nyagak 3 is on board and that we get the money to make sure that we complete this project and have the 6.6 megawatts on board to settle the issue of power stability in West Nile.
Some resolutions passed during the 12th annual general meeting of the Uganda Electricity Generation Company Limited. Minister for Energy and Mineral Development Ruth Nankabira confirms no extension of the defect liability period of Isimba Dam contractors after 2023.
When that defect liability period expires in 2023, the contractor will remain on the ground to complete these snags. That is an agreed on position, and we are putting it on paper. Otherwise, our hands are tied. We cannot extend the defect liability period beyond 2023.
The Electricity Generation Company report indicates an increase in revenue collection from 169 billion shillings for the year 2021 to 210 billion shillings for the year 2022. Profits also increased from 54.7 billion shillings for the year 2021 to 66.3 billion shillings, which represents a 22% increment.
But we look at the outlook is very good. As we service all these debts, the tariffs are bound to come down, and as we get more infrastructure on board, like the Karuma, which we are about to commission, surely we should be able to get more energy into this country.
Continue to work with the contractor to ensure that the scheduling of the work is done to maximize our revenue, because we want to generate, that's our business. Karuma, we are working towards commissioning, and as the Honourable Minister has explained, we are going to commission a unit by unit. As you start wet commissioning, from the outside you assume that it's going to be switch on and everything comes on.
Nankabirwa assures employees of electricity agencies and departments security of their jobs.
Issues regarding the staff, we are now implementing the merger, and the restructuring exercise is supposed to end by July next year. So there were issues regarding the staff, recruitment of staff to manage this plant, which is going to be in the hands of Uganda Electricity Generation Company.
Well, that's all we had time for this particular newscast. Coming your way, this is a special day of Christmas. And because we enjoy your holidays, I will have better programs lined up for you as you continue to watch the national broadcaster here to inspire you. My name is Sandrah Kahunde, and of course from the entire team behind the scene at this special day, this newscast that has been led by the one and only Habimana Dewa for this particular newscast. I'm seeing Alan is right there, very ready to serve you always. I'm seeing Jimmy Aluri. There's a big family right in the control room. Elijah is there. I'm having Francis Cherine, Jeremy. They all send you greetings as you enjoy your Christmas. And newsroom, if I take a look, there's Ivan Kao. I'm seeing Hilda Mutoni is also there. Nalongo Bukira preparing for you the Luganda news. Saddam Mobile also will be bringing you the Swahili news later on in the day. It's a big family, and it's always a pleasure to spend time with you as a national broadcaster. You, a dear viewer, you're also part of this family. Enjoy your day. Happy holidays.